Alright. Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Ramirez. I am a fourth year working for GIP. And this is my coworker Karina. Can I say hi, Karina? Thank you, Karina. And today's workshop will be about gap years. I'm gonna share my screen now. Okay. How do I do this? Slideshow? Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about gap years. Can you hear me okay, Karina? Cool. Okay, so I want to start off with this idea that it is okay to take a few years off before you start grad school. Burnout is normal. On average, 85% of college students said that they have felt overwhelmed by everything they had to do at some point in the past year. 30% of college students reported that their level of stress had a negative effect on their academic performance. Many students feel as though they are mentally and physically exhausted. So these are obviously things to consider as to why you should take a gap year, if not, even if it's more, maybe more than one if you can. But yeah, it's totally normal to take one, and if not, recommended. Okay, things to consider when taking a gap year. Finances. So during your gap year, you should consider, okay, how am I going to be able to afford grad school? You should also consider experience. Do you have enough experience on your resume to put on your application? So most colleges actually ask you to submit a CV or a resume where you will have all your experience that you have. So during that gap year, you want to attempt to like get some experience in the field that you want to be studying, if you're able. Location. During your gap year, you should consider, okay, where do you want to live? Because grad school, depending on what you're doing, master's or PhD, is a long time, and you're gonna have to live in that area for a while. So you have to consider, where do you want to live? Do you want to stay in that location after you finish grad school? Because some people want to like go to a school or a state or city where they could just settle down after. So you should take this time to consider that into that factor. Also, are you mentally prepared to take on grad school? Grad school's workload. It's a lot different than undergrad. It's a lot more work and a lot more critical thinking. So you have to be in the right state of mind and place to be able to like take all of this on. Okay, so your gap year, travel. Many students either travel abroad or take time to travel. This is beneficial mentally and also for personal experience. Sometimes students do this for their resume or because they want to learn a new culture. This is also helpful in deciding where you want to move to for grad school. So obviously it's very expensive, but if you have the means to do it, I recommend doing it. Also because, let's say for me, for example, I'm planning on moving to San Diego for a year and hope just to see if I like the area enough, or do I want to apply to school thereafter. So a lot of people also do that. They move to a city where they're considering going to school in just to see if they like it or not.
I don't have my class until 2:40.
Okay, do you have enough professional experience? Some graduate schools want students to have work completed in their field, in their specific field. This is why many grad students are actually older, just because they took the time to work before going back to school. Lead students want to have better work/intern experience as well. If your academic work is not the best, it is good to have a recommendation from a professional in that field. So what that means is oftentimes you're going to obviously need letters of rec. And if your academic work isn't really the best, where you feel the most comfortable only asking professors, you might want to ask the people who supervised you in your internships, and then you're also in your like other like field work as well. Okay, so when taking a gap year, it is easy to lose track of time and not be the most productive. What should you be doing to keep yourself accountable? So what you should do is, what I always recommend is make an Excel sheet with all the schools that you plan to apply to. With this Excel sheet, you want to list the application deadline, the requirements. Does it require the GRE? And if it does require the GRE, study for the GRE during your gap year. Create a study plan, stick to it. register for the exam and take it, submit your scores, and then create deadlines for yourself in regards to your essays for your applications. What you should also do, somebody recently added me to like a student made like group chat where everybody on this group chat is working toward going to grad school. We're all gonna start gap year soon, so we all are like keeping each other accountable. So it's good to keep yourself in that kind of like friend group if you're able to, just so that way you're around people who are like aiming for the same goals that you are as well. And then things to also, before I move on, so when making that Excel sheet, you could actually use this one resource called the Princeton Review Grad School Search. Can you see this, Karina?
I was looking for your curly
Okay,
hair,
cool.
but I was like,
What this does is basically you could like look up programs in certain states, and it'll give you information on all the schools that like have that program and you're interested in. Okay, back to this.
Good. Just got off work.
So
Good. I'm an academic advisor at a high
things
school
to
nearby
consider
here.
when choosing a school.
Yeah.
Demographics. Research your school demographics before you apply. Income in the area. Look at the income of the area that you are currently
Yeah.
living
So
in.
basically,
And then programs. Someone recently told me that you should always look at the courses of the program that you're trying to apply to, and look to see if they meet your own standards. As someone who wants to get their MFT, ethic courses are really important to me. So right now I'm focusing on ensuring that there's a lot of ethic courses in my program that I want to apply to. Things like that.
It's pretty cool.
Okay. And then other resources that are available to you right now, obviously, is the Princeton Review Grad that I mentioned earlier. You could also look at Handshake if you're looking for more like experience. LinkedIn is also a very good resource for experience. And then in regards to like on campus, you have us, GIP, if you want to come and schedule an appointment. And there's also the Career Center on campus as well. And that is it for today. Thank you so much.
That's so
I've done it
cute.
every
Stop recording.
So it's really fun. There's like Pilates.